everybody. It is our Friday night sports talk here on Play It Right TV. Diane Casilla with the Dean, Kenito Henson. Thank you for joining us again. You know, we're so excited because sports is really revving up here in the Philippines. Diba, Kenito, ang daming nagyayari. So many things are starting up. We have the FIBA tournament coming up also later on. Volleyball is restarting. But tonight, we're going to talk about some of the events that have happened in the world of sports this week. Topping the news, of course, is the exit of the very, very triumphant Alaska Aces from the PBA after 35 years, 14 championships, including a Grand Slam. Personally, Kenito, I mean, it was so sad to see. I was shocked to hear the news. Very sad. You know, it's hard to imagine the PBA without an Alaska team, of course, led by Fred Uitengsu. Tributes have been pouring out, but of course, nothing but respect for this team that has been run so well and has just really created so many exciting moments for basketball fans of the PBA. But sabi nga ni Fred Uitengsu, all good things must come to an end. So, very sad to see them go. But,
well, 35 years, nandun sila sa PBA and nakapasok sila sa 31 finals to get 14 championships, 13 of them with Coach Tim Cohn. And to celebrate Alaska's history or legacy of integrity, honesty, and sportsmanship, eto, suot-suot ko yung Chicago Bulls shirt. And you remember back in the day when Tim Cohn was coaching the Alaska Aces, the franchise took the colors of the Chicago Bulls during the Michael Jordan era, and they also ran that famous triangle offense. Again, the playbook of Coach Phil Jackson and assistant coach Tex Winter. And see, Coach Tim Cohn, of course, connected with the coaching staff of the Chicago Bulls and polished that kind of system. And, you know, through the years, Dayan, ang daming mga magagaling na player from the Alaska franchise. And we're not just talking of players who have come and gone, but players who have been on championship teams. Nandiyan sina Johnny Abarientos, Jojo Lastimosa, Bong Hawkins, JV Casio, si Calvin Abueva naglaro din. And even today's Alaska lineup has a Jaron Deng, Maverick Ahenmisi. Ang dami nilang magagaling na player. And it really just is hard to imagine that yun nga, mawawala nga Alaska sa PBA. And, you know, but I think it was expected because in 2012, nagkaroon ng change of ownership sa Alaska. Ang naman natin, ngayon sinabi mo, Dayan, no? Si Fred Uitengsu, the owner of Alaska, his passion drove this team.
Yes.
Pero nung napunta yung Alaska to the Dutch company, yung Royal Friesland Campina, nawala na yung passion. In fact, a lot of people were saying, maswerte nga yung Alaska Aces that they stayed on for 10 more years after the purchase by the Dutch company. But ngayon at nagkaroon ng pandemic and there has been a reprioritization of corporate resources, the decision came out na i-withdraw na yung basketball team from the PBA because, well, malaking gastos kasi eh. And I think the Dutch company felt that maybe the resources could be of better use elsewhere. You know, that's the decision, and I guess we just have to just abide by that decision. Diane?
Yeah. Well, you know, there's been an outpouring of love and memories for the Alaska team, both from the fans and so many players, diba? Yung mga players na nabanggit mo. And later on, we're going to have one of the key players that played for Alaska for many years. He's going to be joining us on the show to share some of his memories. But yun nga, there was a question here from one of our viewers, Kinito, asking if the Alaska team is going to be sold. And I think we heard that there were a lot of interested parties, diba, to buy the franchise. And I believe the PBA has said that they're going to give Alaska until the end of April, perhaps, to sell it on their own. If not, it's going to be the PBA who will entertain offers, and then the players, of course, just like the Alaska way, are gonna be taken care of. Sabi ni Fred Uteng, so as he has been doing all the years, he's gonna make sure that the players are taken care of. They're not gonna be left out to dry, and it's either gonna get another team, through that dispersal draft, or for sure hindi pababayaan ng mga players, and that's something that we really respect Alaska for. And you know, I was just recalling all the names that that Alaska was called, di ba? Ang dami, di ba? Pero
Milkmen,
yeah,
ganon,
the
the
milkmen.
aces.
Pero alam mo, the memories I have of Alaska is always with Fred Uytengsu talaga. Kahit magbago yung coach, of course Tim was there for most of the time, but si Fred talaga, no, he was really the heart and soul of that team, and he would always be there watching with his wife, diba? Super supportive. So I really take my hat off to him. He really put his brand of excellence and integrity and honesty in running that team. And I think that's how all the players uh, also play the game, at kaya napaka-successful nila. I mean, of course, Fred was an athlete himself. He was a champion swimmer. And then he not just got into basketball, he was also instrumental in bringing the Ironman here sa Pilipinas. So talagang during that press conference when he announced that, Alaska was saying goodbye after 35 years, diba na, he was very emotional. I can super understand it. He did say that he sort of knew it was coming, diba? But syempre, when that day comes, then you have to announce to the players, to the PBA, diba na, I mean, 35 years, that's like, wow. But, the record is like incredible. I mean, something to be really proud of. 14 championships, Grand Slam in 1996, and almost a second Grand Slam, if I'm not mistaken.
In 1998.
Yeah,
Yes.
1998.
And you know that Alaska franchise, actually, they use a different brand in the early years of the PBA. They used Hills Brothers, and that was a coffee brand
I
that
remember
the
that.
Alaska Corporation was also promoting. And but then it was Alaska. That brand name stuck sa PBA.
Mm-mm.
And in answer to the question kanina, what are the options? Ibebenta ba ang Alaska franchise at sino ba bibili? Ang balita is that there have been seven
Oh,
inquiries.
7 now. Wow.
Yes, as of
Bilis.
yesterday, and 5 of them were directed to the PBA office. 2 of them were directed to Alaska directly. No? And out of the 5 that called the PBA, according to Commissioner Willie Marshall, 3 were very serious buyers. No? So let's see what will happen. Kung hindi magkatuloy itong sale, the franchise will revert to the PBA, and the PBA will then have a dispersal draft. Yung pong player ng Alaska, gagawa sila ng draft, pretty much like the rookie draft, in order of reverse
A special
order of
draft.
finish. Yes, and it will be done at the same time as the rookie draft. So in reverse order of finish, yung bottom place team ay kukuha ng first crack at the Alaska players that they want, and so on down the line. And maraming mga galing, no? Nabanggit na natin kanina, Ahan Misi, Teng, Abu Tratard, Mike De Gregorio, and many others. No? So you can go all the way down the line. Here's another
All right.
question.
There's
You forgot
another.
to mention
No,
folks
we
like
forgot to
Bong
mention
Alvarez
daw Bong Alvarez and
and
Bogs
Bogs
Adornado. Oo
Adornado.
nga, di ba?
Yes, Bogs Adornado did play, but very briefly. Marami pa rin, no? Ricky Rolosa, Yoyo Villamin, Frankie Lim, Boy Cabao, si John Arrigo, naglaro din doon. Gosh, let's not forget the imports. Si Sean Chambers, tapos Dickie Simpkins, si Diamond Simpson. Marami talaga.
Alipik.
Ali Peak, of course, also got to play for Alaska. So, maraming. And of course, we're reserving the name of Kenneth Duremdes because he promised to come out in our program. Hinihintay namin siya. Kanina he was trying to enter. I hope he's not having difficulty entering our link. But
Yes.
we're hoping to have Kenneth here just express his sentiments kung ano nangyari sa Alaska and how he feels about it. Eto, meron na naman, no? To Diane and Dinkinito, I'm a diehard Barangay Ginebra fan. But I have so much respect for Alaska. Why? Because they know how to build a franchise from nothing and then become a champion team. We will miss them. Wala na ring tayong magagawa. That is life. Nothing is permanent. Johnny, Kenneth, Bong, and Jojo are my favorite players in franchise history. Totoo yan, no? Sa PBA, there have been champion teams that have come and gone. Santo
Yes.
Lucia Realty, Great Taste, Toyota, Shell, Crispa, Utex.
Yes. Oh
Marami na.
gosh.
Tanduay. Ang dami na mga champion teams na nawala, no? And it's really because of the business considerations. Ano ba ang direksyon ng company that owns the team? Ang feeling nila, kung medyo malaki-laki na yung nagagasto sila and they're no longer able to justify it as an advertising expense that won't give them the mileage that they want, or they'd rather use the resources somewhere else. So, yun ang nagkakaroon ng decision whether or not to continue. But, well, we still have the teams playing the Governors Cup. At sabi nga ni
That's right.
so, fight to the end ang Alaska. And kahapon nga,
They
tinalo
won.
ng and that was a tremendous victory talaga. And that was certainly a morale booster, especially for Coach Jeff Carriazo. Just to be able to put this team together.
Yeah, can you imagine the emotions going through that team, di ba, nung nasabihan sila. It's very hard to play under those conditions. So hats off to them. And, it would be so nice if they could win the championship, no, on their swan song. No, that would be like such a good memory. But even if not, ang dami ng memories yung Alaska that's very, very hard to beat. I super remember their celebrations also. Their celebrations are really grandiose, no? Parang talagang sila celebrate nila. So, and 14, kumbaga, hindi talaga sila nagsasawa. And I know that a lot of the players have been saying na what they remember most is that, of course, the feeling, the winning feeling. But yung celebration talaga, nag-abroad pa sila, di ba? May mga ganong bonus with the families. Kasama
talking
yung
of celebration, ito na, Dayan. Ito na yung hinihintay natin. Captain Marbel himself, the 1998 PBA MVP who played many, many wonderful years sa Alaska. Ipasok na natin, Kenneth Duremdes.
Kenneth.
Captain Marbel is here in the house.
You can see his name, Captain Marbel. Nahihirapan pumasok.
Nasaan yung vision niya?
What do you remember about Kenneth Duremdes, Kinito?
Oh, just a great scorer, a very versatile player, and someone who plays not for himself but for his team, but a leader. Pwede kong sabihin, si Captain Marbel was really a leader on the floor, and he represented the Philippines in 3 Asian Games from Hiroshima to Bangkok until South Korea in Busan. And he was part of the bronze medal team of the Philippines in the Asian Games in 1998, coached by Tim Cohn. And also that same year, he was the leading scorer of the Jones Cup, where the Philippines won the championship. He averaged over 17 points a game. So, I think nahihirapan yata si Kenneth na pumasok
kanina.
Quite
a player, Kenneth Duremdes.
Nakita na natin
for sure, we're gonna have Kenneth on the show to talk about what he remembers most about Alaska. In the meantime,
what does he say? When I was in grade school, my dad was always watching PBA. And all I can remember is Alaska champion team, the brand and the ever-famous Alaska boy. Totoo yan. Isa sa mga anak ni Fred Uyteng Su, was the Alaska model.
Yeah, the swimmer.
Anak ba yun?
Anak. Anak rin yun.
Anak rin.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. Because I remember Fred and his brother when they used to compete in swimming in Rizal Memorial. Because my brother was also competing at that time. And then yung kapatid niya, he was the Alaska boy. I forgot lang the name. Pero that image will forever be remembered.
Michael, kung di tayo nagkakamali.
Wala pa rin tatalo. Michael, yes.
Michael, thanks. Exactly.
Wala pa rin tatalo sa Alaska. Okay. So, ayan, those are some of the posts of the...
Oh, yeah. And we've seen so many posts, Diane, coming from the different former Alaska players paying tribute. Ito, galing kay Ali Peak, galing kay Sean Chambers, the legendary import. Yan. And in the bottom of that was yung list of 14 rings nila. Jeron Teng, grateful to Alaska for giving me a home.
4
Yan.
years na siya dyan, no? Since
Mhm.
since he got out of college, he's been with the Alaska team.
Pati si Richard Del Rosario, who is now the assistant coach sa Barangay Ginebra, had his moments at Alaska. And Nico Elorde, he also played, and he said, thank you, Alaska. And Nico Elorde, we want to see him back in the PBA. Yeah, ang dami, ang dami. Some
Okay,
great...
so I think
Yeah,
Kenneth, Captain Marbel is back. Hopefully, we'll have a video of him now. Kenneth, nandyan ka na ba? Baka mobile siya. Of course, now Kenneth is the commissioner of the MPBL Basketball
right,
League,
yes. You know, these
running
are
the league that is supposed to also restart itong quarter na to in 2022. Nawala ulit siya.
these are the
Kenneth
pitfalls of
Duremdes!
doing a live
Welcome to Play It Right TV.
Kenneth, nasaan ka na?
Wala pa rin, wala pa rin. We shall not give up. We shall
but
not
his
give up.
frame is there. His
Anyway.
visual number is not there.
All right. Maybe mamayang konti kinito makabalik naman si Kenneth and we can chat with him about Alaska. But also in this show, we're still talking about big basketball news this week. Of course, Gilas Pilipinas has announced its 22-member pool that will compete in this window that's coming up on February 24 against South Korea, India, New Zealand. Coach Chot Reyes at the helm. The last time kausap natin si Chot, sabi niya, wow, so many things going on trying to put a team together. Pinagsasabay-sabay. They have players from TNT. They have they have Dwight Ramos from the B League. They have Bolik in there. So, Kinito, I think this has probably been, would you say, one of the shortest preparations of a Gilas team for a window, but they're determined to put up a good show against, our first game, February 24, South Korea. What do you think?
Well, definitely very short of preparation natin. And it's really because of the pandemic. The first window of the FIBA World Cup Asia qualifiers should have been played last November. And that would have been Philippines versus South Korea home and away. Since hindi natuloy yun, those two games will now be played in this window. So parang ipagsasabay nila yung windows 1 and 2. Philippines and South Korea, tapos Philippines will also play India and New Zealand. So it's going to be quite a schedule for the Philippines, even if this is our home court. You mentioned the 22-man lineup. Sandali. Turkinito, anything to say about Caleb Harris? I notice he's tagging you in his posts. Yes, Caleb Harris is going to be our special guest sa Play It Right. Bantayan nyo yan. He's also arriving in Manila sometime next week. Before Caleb Harris arrives, we will have him on our show. Promise yan. So you will see him and you will hear him for the first time dito po sa ating Play It Right show.
60 sensation, no? From Tennessee.
That's right, yeah. But again, going back to yung pinag-uusapan natin kanina about the tough schedule of Gilas, sabi nga sa atin ni Assistant Coach Mark Pingris, sundalo tayo, lalaban tayo. Mahirap itong labanan, kokonting practice time, halos wala nga tune-up games. Tapos yung player, hindi pa masyado nagkakakilala. Despite all of the challenges, ang sabi ni Ping, lalaban tayo. Every time you wear the Philippine flag on your shirt, you have to wear it proudly. And you have to be competitive, especially since we are playing sa ating bansa. Yeah. So, yun ang magandang sinabi ni Ping at tinuturuan na niya yung mga bigs how to move, how to post up. Yung kanyang project is si Ange Kwame. So, very defined na yung role ni Ping, no? Si Ping is going to be not just a mentor for the bigs, but also someone who will give guidance to the young players. Yung isang tinarget niya in terms of giving guidance is Robert Bolick. Kanya, sa tingin ko, no, very good decision ito ni Coach Chot Reyes na kunin si Pinoy Sakuragi as an assistant coach. Saludo tayo kay Mark Pingris.
Sa practice, no? Si Robert Bolick. He's been doing really good. Impressive daw siya. And also in his last PBA game.
Of course, siya yung best player. Wala pang panalo yung Northport, pero nung pumasok si Bolick, tinalo nila. Yung wala pang talo na Meralco, and that was a huge upset, and si Bolick was the best player of that game. Meron ba akong balita tungkol sa Gilas, no? Okay, meron tayong 22-man lineup. Subalit, mga kasama, mga kaibigan, yung pong papasok sa bubble, doon po sa Novotel, doon po magagaling yung bubble. Yung bubble po ng FIBA qualifiers, Novotel, Smart Arena Coliseum, kung saan lalakad lang sila, tapos babalik sila sa Novotel. Yun po yung bubble nila. But we'll tell you more about that after we bring in yung pinakahihintay natin na kanina pa trying to enter our show. Captain Marbel, ready ka na ba?
We're giving you one more shot.
Captain Marbel, nasaan ka na?
Almost, malapit na.
Ayun! Naku, nakita na natin sa wakas. Pero nawala ulit. Captain Marbel, nasaan ka na? Yun!
Ayun, nawawala-wala. Okay. Ang hirap talaga ng StreamYard.
Hi, Kenneth.
Kumusta? Kumusta, Kenneth?
Yun.
Nice to hear you. Naku, nag-freeze yata si Kenneth.
Nawawala.
Nawawala. Oh, narinig mo ba kami?
Good evening, Dayan.
Good evening, Kenneth.
Can you hear us?
Narinig mo kami, Kenneth? Naku, nag-freeze yata.
Yeah,
si Captain Marbel. Nag-freeze.
Yeah.
I just hope we can get him back on. He's actually really trying.
Yeah.
We've seen his face. We know that he's there.
Yeah.
Ang balita kay Christina, ang ating supporter who is in our back room, she is our co-producer. Sabi niya, he will go to use a laptop. Okay, he's on a laptop na. Okay to intro. Eto, babalik na naman si Captain Marbel. Sana maganda na ito. Sana makakausap natin because I really want to find out yung mga experiences niya sa Alaska. Especially yung 1998. Kasi kasama yun.
Like peak, no?
Dalawa na silang championships na nakuha. Yet, si Fred Uitengsu, he sacrificed glory for the team for glory to the country. Because he allowed his best players to play for the national team. Pati yung coach niya, nag-coach ng national team. As a result, na-jeopardize yung chances nila for the Grand Slam in 1998. So I want to ask Kenneth, anong pakiramdam niya? No? Sayang na sayang. Kasi Kenneth was not part of the 1996 Grand Slam team ng Alaska. And here was an opportunity. Actually, Kenneth also played for Sunkist. Naglaro din siya sa Santa Lucia Realty, sa Coca-Cola. And what a wonderful career he had. The 6-time champion, si Kenneth Duremdes. And 2 times finals MVP.
Talaga eh. He was so reliable, di ba? Pag kailangan talaga ng puntos. But going back to what you were saying about Alaska sacrificing for the national team, that is so, that's just so Fred, like he's so very nationalistic, and he always he was so honorable. I really love the way he did things. And yeah, he also represented the Philippines, I think, in swimming, kaya alam niya that feeling. And our players, going to the Alaska and the Gilas team, talking about both things, is yun talaga about our basketball players, no? Na, di ba Chot was saying na marami nag-message sa kanya na, coach, just in case you need me. So that's one thing about our basketball players and also our volleyball players, na talagang when the country calls, talagang they're so proud to wear the Philippine flag, and nakikita naman natin sa court na all out talaga binubuhusan lahat. And we've talked about this before na kahit actually qualified na tayo dito sa FIBA Asia, right? But because we're hosting it, and of course we want our team to have that winning habit, talagang we want to perform well, especially ngayon na papayagan na some fans at the Araneta Coliseum. So that's the other good news that we have for the fans. The tickets are going to be up for sale, hindi pa ata, pero I think, Kinito, you were saying that the fans are going to be allowed at the upper section, right? Para
upper box and lower box, yes. Because those are the sections reserved for those not in the bubble. Yung patron section, those are reserved only for those in the bubble. Gaya ng sinasabi natin kanina, yung bubble po, yung mga nakatira sa Novotel, pupunta sa Smart Arena Coliseum, pagkatapos po ng laro at practice, babalik sila dun sa Novotel. Nowhere else can they go. Yun po yung bubble nila. And every delegation, including the Philippines, has a limit of 25 people in the bubble. So, dyan na magagaling yung decision ni Coach Chot Reyes. Out of the 25, ilan ang coaches niya, ilan yung physical therapist, ilan yung player. So, if he decides, for instance, that he will have... sandali. Nandun na si Kenneth, nawala na naman. But anyway, talking about the 25-man lineup, kung ipapasok ni Coach Chot 25 yung limit sa bubble, and yun. Ayan, sandali. We will talk about the bubble later kasi nandito na si Captain Marbel. Kenneth.
Okay, Kenneth.
Dinig mo ba kami? Dinig mo kami?
Okay na.
Okay! Woo!
Okay.
Ayan, oo. Well worth the wait because ikaw talagang hinihintay ng mga fans. Ang dami nang nag-text kanina, nagsesend ng messages, at ikaw ang hinahanap ng mga fans. Captain Marbel. And Dayan, ako muna ang magtatanong. First question ko. Anong pakiramdam mo nung nabalitaan mo na mawawala na yung Alaska franchise sa PBA?
Well, unang-una, sorry talaga dahil hirap pumasok talaga sa signal maybe. So, yun nga ang issue ngayon is about Alaska leaving the PBA. Napakabigat ng pakiramdam ko. Especially nabalitaan ko lang through social media. And lahat ng feeds, lahat ng nababasa ko, parang every time nakakita ako, lalong bumibigat sa dibdib, and may mga tawag pa yung mga kaibigan mo, relatives and former teammates, friends. So napakahirap ng pakiramdam, and parang hindi pa rin ako makapaniwala na until now yung one of the best franchise in PBA history ay magpapaalam na sa liga.
Dayan, meron kong tanong? Naku, nawala yata si Dayan. Ako muna magtatanong, Kenneth. Nung 1998, nandun ka sa Alaska. Nagkaroon kayo ng 2 championships. Kumuntik na kayong kumuha ng Grand Slam. Subalit, si Mr. Uy Tengsu, pinayagan niya yung mga key players niya, pati yung coach ninyo, na maglaro sa Centennial Team, dun sa Asian Games, sa Jones Cup, gano'n. Kanya, nag-sacrifice siya. Yung Grand Slam, hindi nyo nakuha, but yet lumabang kayo para sa bansa. Nakakuha kayo ng bronze medal sa Asian Games. Anong pakiramdam mo nung nawala sa iyo yung pagkakataon na magkaroon ng Grand Slam?
Achievements or tingnan natin dito sa participate ninyo sa national team than the Grand Slam. Wala, hindi na pinag-iisipan yan eh. National team, you play for the national team is again the biggest achievement ng isang player, lalo na again Asian Games na represent mo yung country mo. And that time, now we're looking for second Grand Slam no 1998, and for me, chance din na magkaroon ng Grand Slam, pero hindi muna siya, no comparison na maglaro ka for the national team, even though meron kang Grand Slam na ini-aim for that year no 1998.
Dayan, meron kang tanong?
Kenneth, I wanted to ask you, during your times in Alaska, what would you say? I mean, of course, we all know how, on the outside, how they run the team. Sa tingin mo, you being there, ano talaga yung masasabi mong naging susi sa sa success ng Alaska?
Highest level of professionalism. Yun ang pinakamaganda sa organization yun. Maybe or siguro, yun ang na-establish or yun ang na-develop ni Boss Fred from the start. Dahil the moment na pumasok ka sa organization, yun kagad ang una-una mo mararamdaman. Yung level na yun. Whether you're a star player or not, ang treatment is pare-pareho. Whether you play more minutes or bench ka, ang treatment is pare-pareho. And then, of course, nandun yung head coach nyo sa team na merong magandang sistema din de-develop. And it works also for the organization. And hindi naman sila basta-bastang kumukuha ng players porket magaling ka or superstar ka sa ibang teams na feel nila na hindi mag-work dun sa system nila and hindi doon akma sa organization nila.
Yeah. Ang sabi ni Fred when he made the announcement, aside from the championships, the 14 championships that Alaska won, ang talagang what he really treasures most are the relationships that were formed over the years inside and outside the court. Sa'yo, ano ang pinaka maalala mo sa time mo sa Alaska?
Yung more than friendship, more than family ang nade-develop nun. Yung closeness, yung on and off the court, yung bonding. And it starts with the higher ups. Doon mismo nanggagaling sa taas. So silang nagsiset na examples. Sila yung mafe-feel mo na hindi lang ikaw player ang involved sa organization. It includes your family. It includes your fans and yung fans mo, yung sarili mong fans and yung mga supporters. So mafe-feel mo na one big family and doon na-develop again yung closeness saka yung pagiging solid ng mga players dahil anywhere kahit saan sino man or anong level mo equal ang treatment.
Yeah. What's the most fun celebration trip that you had na na-enjoy mo? Can you name one?
The fondest was my first championship with Alaska no 1997. Yung trip namin sa Australia.
Ooh.
With the team and family. Ano talaga yun? Pag nag-championship, pag may tour, automatic yung kasama yung family. Yun ang ano talaga. Yes po, free siya lahat. And easy to eat na lahat nag-enjoy and lahat welcome and sinisigurado niya kahit na yung alam mo yung ano man yung level mo, ipapa-feel niya sa'yo na part ka ng Alaska and family.
Matanong ko naman, Ken, kung pipiliin mo the top 5 Alaska players of all time, wag mo isalin sarili mo, no? Because I think you have to be there. Pero outside of yourself, sino yung 5 top Alaska players nung nandun ka, yung mga kasama mo?
Yung nakasama ko.
Yung mga nakasama mo lang.
Okay. Number 1 for me is Johnny.
Okay.
Bong Hawkins.
Okay.
Potswinyo and Rodney Santos.
Si the slasher. Okay. What about the imports?
The imports would be Sean Chambers, and Devin Davis.
Si Devin Davis, yung naka-dreadlocks.
Dreadlocks.
Yun, oo. Your most memorable moment sa PBA with Alaska. Nagkaroon ka ba ng some exciting thing that you did during a game? Maybe a dunk or maybe a buzzer beater shot, something memorable na never na mafo-forget mo while you were wearing the Alaska uniform?
I think yung series namin with San Miguel, it's a close game, and actually it's a tie score, seconds to go, and parang up by 2 ang San Miguel, seconds to go, and parang napasa sa akin ni Johnny, and naitira ko ng 3 points and pumasok, and that's the winning shot. Hindi naman siya buzzer beater, pero ang sistema kasi ni team kung sa amin dati is percentage basketball. Ayaw niya nang tumitira ka ng 3 points. Meron lang siyang mga designated shooters like Ruel Gomez na licensed to shoot for 3 points. Pero that moment, wala na, sa situation ka na nabigay na sa yung bola, nasa 3-point line ka, and I think yun yung key na nanalo kami sa series against San Miguel dahil doon sa tira na yun.
Was that seconds to go?
Seconds to go. Seconds to go, up by 2, and hindi kami inaalaw ni team na tumira ng 3 points. Kanya kasi that's a low percentage shot. So, situational lang yung nangyari. Parang na-double lang si Johnny, na-kick lang sa akin yung bola. Wala na akong choice. Shot clock is going down. I have to take that shot. So, 3 points pumasok. So, tinitingnan ko yung reaction ni team. Pero pumasok.
Ano?
Yung nanay doon sa series.
Okay. Anong series yun? Was that the finals?
The finals with San Miguel. Alam ko sa laro yun sa Ultra pa.
Okay. So, anong taon yun?
Parang 1998 na ang series is tied 2-all.
Okay.
Tapos naging 3-2 kami, and then eventually nag 4-2. Parang gano'n.
Nanalo kayo?
Nanalo. Nanalo.
Okay. Wow, what a wonderful situation to remember, no? Ngayon yung Alaska, iba na ngayon yung team nila, no? Si Jeffrey Carriazo nandiyan na. Pero yung kanilang mentality of teamwork at saka yung hard work, nandun pa rin. Nakikita natin sa laro nila, no? Sina Jeron Teng na, yung mga bago, gano'n. Do you still keep a bond with the Alaska team? Yung mga dating player at saka yung mga bagong player, nagkikita-kita ba kayo?
Dahil before pandemic, nakikita-kita kami. Nagkakasama-sama kami sa mga road games, international games, yung mga Legends games namin. So, parang reunion, sort of a reunion. Nagkikita-kita kami doon. And, ayun, before si Jeff, nung hindi pa siya naging coach ng Alaska, nakakasama din namin siya sa mga international games.
Nice.
Okay,
So Kenneth, what would you like to say to Alaska, to your former teammates, or to your coaches sa pagpapaalam ng Alaska sa PBA?
Well, masasabi ko sa mga teammates ko, former teammates, coaches, the whole organization. I'm proud to say na naging part ako sa journey, naging part ako sa success ng organization, and which we believe, I still believe na ito yung team na, for me, the best team when it comes to professionalism and achievements. Dahil ito yung team na nag-establish talaga ng system na they follow the book, no? Kung ano talaga yung rules and regulations ng league, they made sure na in line sila doon. And isa lang ang mission, isa lang ang vision ng team, which is again to win championships. And sad to say nga na ito na isa sa pinaka best franchise in PBA history, magpapahalam na. And nakakalungkot, and I don't know kung meron pang team na magkakaroon ulit ng kagaya ng Alaska organization.
May tanong dito, Kenneth, no, from Paul C. Sir Kenneth, nasa Alaska ka ba nung munti ka na mag-NBA si Johnny A? What do you remember of the situation back then? 1999 yon.
Yes.
Ako, natandaan ko yun because involved ako nun eh.
Yes.
Ikaw, Kenneth,
Yes.
anong recollection
Tandaan
mo?
ko yun, parang hindi mapakali si Team Conan and si Johnny. Every day sa practice, nag-uusap sila palagi in one corner. So alam na namin na develop na scouting for Johnny. I remember, Charlotte Hornets yon.
Yes.
So,
tama yon.
Medyo ano na yun ang ano noon, ang ano nun, Alaska, parang excited na lahat and hindi na namin alam kung anong ikikilos namin. Mawawala ba si Johnny? Can make it? Or papayagan mo siya ni Boss Fred? Or okay ba kay Team Cone? Yun yung mga questions eh. So talagang mainit na noon and yun nga lang, hindi lang siya natuloy.
So excited kayo lahat. Ito, ilalatag ko na yung storya doon. Yung Charlotte Hornets International Scout, ang pangalan niya si Joe Betancourt, who continues to communicate with me, no? Siya yung pumunta sa Maynila at ang balak niya i-sign si Johnny ng isang 10-day contract.
Wow.
So, nag-meeting kami sa Hotel Peninsula, doon sa kanyang suite. Nandun sa meeting si Johnny, si Coach Tim Cone, at yung manager ni Johnny, si Anton Montinola ng FEU. Yan. At saka ako. Yun, pinag-usapan namin kung ano mangyayari, kung ano yung terms, at nagkaaregluhan na. Talagang nagkaaregluhan na. At talagang si Johnny was going to go to the States and play in the NBA. The first, sana yun, no? At yung Alaska, pumayag. Because, one thing about si Sir Fred, basta sa bansa, all out siya eh. And he knew that it was going to be a pride for the Philippines. Unfortunately, nung bumalik si Joe Betancourt sa Amerika, nagkaroon ng trade. Ang coach ng Charlotte doon si Dave Cowens, yung dating Boston Celtics. While he was away, nagkaroon ng trade si David Wesley, yung isang point guard, pumunta sa Charlotte. Kanya nawala na ng pwesto. Yung point guard was taken up by David Wesley. Nawala na yung situation. Sayang na sayang because si Joe Betancourt up to this day, in fact, he's going to visit Manila soon. Kasi palagi ko sabi niya.
Nice. Wow, what a story. I remember that time. Naalala ko, excited tayo lahat.
He's still hoping that maybe there will be a Filipino he can bring to the NBA. Grabe.
Anyway, Kenneth, what a wonderful story. Kenneth, give us an update naman on the MPBL. Now, of course, you're the commissioner. I hear you're going to start your conference first quarter. Makakapag-start ba kayo? Can you give us an update?
The latest update I got from our operations, yung partner namin sa Chooks to Go, ang initial plan is March or after siya ng Holy Week. Yun yung latest na napag-usapan. And yun na lang ang inaantay namin. Sa ngayon kasi struggling ang league to find a venue. Kasi ang mga venues natin, ang tournament format kasi natin, home and away. So, sa regular season. So, may mga venues, yun ang challenging ngayon. May mga venues na ginagamit for vaccination. Facilities. So, baka hindi namin magawa yung ginagawa namin dati na yung regular na tournament na home and away. So, merong home game, may away. Kasi nga, limited ang mga arenas, mga gymnasiums ngayon na accommodate ang MPBL. So, naghahanap pa kami kung anong gym sa South na lang na isa and kung anong gym sa North na isa rin na magiging na lang, doon na lang, dalawang venue na lang. And with the restrictions also of COVID, hindi rin kami basta-bastang lipat ng LGUs kasi kanya-kanya silang guidelines. So, mahirap.
Well, how many teams do you have for this conference?
Ang nag-commit is 26 teams.
Wow, it's still a lot, 26. Ang dami pa rin.
Out of 32.
Pero Oo, Kenneth, mukhang hindi kayo apektado dun sa mga bali-balita na magkakaroon ng Pilipinas Super League kung saan si Ting ay magiging commissioner. Tapos merong bagong liga na parang tinatayo ni Congressman Clody Bautista of Davao Occidental. So mga ganitong balita, hindi naman kayo affected. MPBL is here to stay at alam mo, napanood ko yung finals nyo. Super!
Yeah,
Super!
grabe.
Yan,
One for the
grabe yung last game.
one for
Grabe. Tsaka, of course, si Encho Serrano, medyo bata natin niya kasi galing Lasal. Ang ganda ng nilaro niya no, during the overtime. Pero si Philip Panalang, alam mo, sasabihin ko sa iyo, you can ask Philip, nung naglalaro yun sa UE, type ko na player yan eh. Talagang type na type ko. And when he entered the PBA draft, sayang hindi siya nakapasok. Nilista ko yan as possible first rounder eh. Kasi ang tapag ng bata. Biruin mo, wala siyang score the whole game. Tapos tinira niya yung 3-pointer to make it to make a victory. What can you say about that MPBL finals? And what can fans expect in the future from the MPBL?
Well, classic finals yun ever na nakita ko in my entire career, no? Dahil finals siya, overtime, and buzzer beater winning shot. Wala kang dapat ganon. And yung packet tournament namin na ginawa na yon, parang FIBA type siya. So araw-araw. Kaya nga, lalo akong bumilib kay Philip noon kung paano niya natira yung 3 points na yon with legs and confidence and guts dahil nag-iisang point guard lang siya noon for the whole series ng Basilan. Dahil injured yung isa, yung si Gabo. Wala siyang kapalitan. And semis, everyday, quarterfinals, everyday. Wala silang break noon. FIBA type. Pero to make that shot and alam mo yon, wala na siyang energy pero makita mo siya. He made that shot na unbelievable. So,
unbelievable talaga.
Lagi naman yung finals ng MPBL, laging gano'n, no? Talaga. Pero this
yun, na napakagandang series, napakagandang laro.
Kami,
parang ito na yung regalo natin sa basketball fans after 2 years of absence. And natutuwa lahat. And nakita natin na, I mean, yun ang basketball.
11 days straight, right? You played?
11
days straight, every day games, right?
Yeah.
Pero this next conference of yours, you expect it to last for how long naman? Sa tingin mo?
Yun nga, medyo kasi mahirap sa i-predict dahil sa situation ngayon. Hopefully, itong Omicron last na siya. Kasi nakikita namin sa PBA, every time na papasok na si PBA, mga ilang weeks na siya, natitigil. Nawawala yung momentum, nawawala yung excitement ng mga fans, na-frustrate sila, nakikita namin. So ayaw namin mangyari sa MPBL na once na mag-start kami, kasi sa amin long season palagi. What if magkakaroon na naman tayo ng pandemic na ibabalik naman sa level 3 or 4 ang situation sa NCR. Ano na naman mangyayari? Matitigil na naman yung liga and mahirap mag-adjust. So, hindi namin talaga siya makita kung yung sports ba talaga or particularly itong basketball maging tuloy-tuloy na kung pag naumpisa namin. Dahil parang hindi kung ako ang basketball fan, parang maiinis na ako dahil napuputol din yung momentum yung papanood yung pag-subaybay ko ng games So mahirap. So kung mapapansin sana ng mga leagues yan na nga parang maiinis na sa atin itong mga basketball fans natin kasi may tigil na naman tayo. Magbe-break tayo. Mahirap
I think mas sabik sila. I don't think ever mainis ang mga basketball fans ng Pilipinas.
Pero sa tingin ko, Kenneth, parating na yung panahon na mawawala na to. I'm hoping that yung PBA ngayon, kasi tuloy-tuloy na yan. Meron tayong FIBA, meron tayong FIBA Asia, Southeast Asian Games, lahat yan. And pati din sa MPBL, I'm hoping for the best because we're all in sports because we love sports, and this is for the fans, pati din sa mga atleta natin. And with that, Kenneth, maraming
Thank you.
salamat
Salamat.
sa pagdalaw mo. We really appreciate it. And of course, I hope hindi ka magsawa because palagi tayo nagtatawagan, palagi tayo nagte-text.
Of course.
We're always here, Kenneth, to support you. We believe in you. At yung excellence at professionalism na sinasabi mo, na nakuha mo sa Alaska, yun ay dinadala mo in your position as Commissioner of MPBL. Mabuhay ka, Kenneth Duremdes, MVP ng PBA.
Salamat po, sir.
Maraming salamat.
God bless. Thank you. Thank you, Kenneth. Till the next time.
Thank you, Kenneth. Thank you. Maraming salamat. Oh, nakuha din natin si Kenneth. Woo!
Yeah, wow, that was tough. But yeah, finally. Yeah. So many nice things he said about Alaska.
Yeah.
Professionalism.
I hope the fans appreciated and they waited. Kasi super ganda naman ang mga nasabi ni Kenneth sa atin. And here's another comment from Napoleon Federer. Kudos for this moment with our Alaska Aces legend, Kenneth Duremdes. Maraming salamat sa lahat ng mga nakapanood ng episode na to. This is a special one because we had Captain Marbel. And with that, Diane?
All right. So we hope you will join us again next time. Play It Right will be back on Sunday. We have our boxers, right? That will be talking to us. We have Jerwin Angcajas, Jonas Sultan, Geo Santissima, and the latest from Yumer Marshall. Lahat sila, they are now in Las Vegas, Nevada. So yan ang aming guest sa Play It Right on Sunday. And with that, maraming salamat. We hope you can check out playitright.com for some high-quality sports gear and sportswear with some wonderful brands. That's playitright.com. Until the next time, this is Diane Castillejo.
And this is Kinito Henson. Oh, we were seeing some brands being flashed on your screens. Yung po yung mga brands ng playitright.com. Yan. Pakita natin. ASICS, of course, the apparel, and then the Mueller health equipment, accessories, our Molten basketball, which is the Olympic official ball and FIBA's official ball, all the other sports accessories from ASICS, Molten, and Mueller. And those are beautiful volleyball shoes and the Mikasa volleyballs. All of those you can get at discounted prices at playitright.com. Iba po yung Play It Right TV. Yung po yung dapat isubscribe ninyo. Don't forget
to our channel.
Like and subscribe and hit that bell button because you will be notified kung sino-sino po yung mga susunod na mga guests ng Play It Right. And sabi nga ni Dayan, on Sunday, 4 po na boksingero nakausap po namin all the way sa Las Vegas. And marami silang mga kwento para sa atin lahat. Yan po, Sunday at 10 o'clock. And succeedingly, we will have a special, exclusive interview with the Alaska owner himself, Fred Uitengso. Yan, antayin natin yan at bantayan natin. Everything will come out sa Play It Right.
Until next time, this is Diane Castillo. God bless. Play It Right TV. Maraming salamat.
Salamat sa inyo.